G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. Here I am in the desktop of EndeavourOS after install. We have already had the BigDaddyLinux live challenge on the 11th of August. Have yet to update my Endeavour. I was waiting until that had finished. So down here we've got a little arch symbol down the bottom here. Let's have a look in the menu. We'll see that that is called Karl. Keep Arch Linux up to date. So if we left click on that, unable to check the news, unable to check for updates, could not synchronize database. Probably because I had an internet problem to start with. So that's sudo pacman -SYU. See if we can get it synced there and hopefully that'll sort it. Let's go no on that. Let's just see if that's got that sorted out. No, it's still doing the same thing. So if I right click it and let's go to check for upgrades on Karl. Now what it does here is it tells you 30 updates available, and it tells you down here what it is. It shows you the news. So show the news. The libbloom package prior to version 1.6-2 was missing a soname link. This has been fixed. It tells you what it's done, and I probably wouldn't really know what it's referring to. User libbloom.so.1 exists in the file system. When updating, use pacman-SUY --overwrite to perform the upgrade. So when updating this, --overwrite, so we're going to overwrite the existing one that's in the system to perform the upgrade. Myriad B requires manual intervention. So the main configuration file moved from etc mysql/my.cnf, and it's included etc mysql.cnf.d. Make sure to move your configuration. I'm not really sure. So we've got quite a few issues here. So what I'm going to do is close that. I'm going to right click and I'm going to do a upgrade simulation. Simulation is complete. Close that. Right click again. System upgrade. And then we can upgrade system. Let's close that. Now what my concern right now is this one here. Unread news. So let's have another look at this in full screen. So these are all saying, some of these are saying that they require manual intervention. Alright, so what I can safely say is we do the upgrade and then we can come back here and check the news if anything goes wrong. So that's update system and upgrade system. So the system upgrade is complete. So what we want to do is read this news again. Left click, show news. So I don't know whether we should have done this prior to updating. I don't know. Let's paste that. Sudo so when updating, so it's not doing anything, so maybe I should have done this before the updates, maybe, I don't know. Alright, there doesn't seem to be any problem there. So maybe the update has taken care of that. That's just news to tell you what's going on. I'm not really sure. I'm a bit confused about all that, I have to admit. But I've done an update, I've upgraded the system, so I'm going to do a restart to see whether there's any conflicts or whether everything has gone a-okay. So let's do that first. Okay, so here we are back in the system. All seems to have gone well. So let's just left click on this one again and read that news. I'm assuming this is just news for people to know what's going on in the Arch world. Some of these things, maybe if you do have them installed, you probably need to update them. I don't know if I do or not. I've updated, everything's fine. So I'm sure we'll find out a little bit more about this. A lot of them say upgrade requires manual intervention. I don't know. That's why I said I probably wouldn't run Arch because of that reason, is because there's a lot of maintenance to be done. I've just blindly updated and upgraded the system. Whether that was the right or wrong thing to do, I'm not really sure. All seems to be well okay at the moment. What I really want to do now is start setting up the system. If I can remember how this is done, I'll probably go into, let me go Control H, I think .bash rc. So this has got an alias. So what I'm going to do here is just enter one space there. I think I'll put in an alias myself. So alias space in for install equals, and put the little quote, single quote, sudo pacman space dash capital S. Finish the quote, and that's save that. So all I have to do is type in, and that should be sudo pacman dash capital. Actually, I didn't put a capital S, did I? So that would have completely messed that up. So let's try that again. File and save. So in theory, I should be able to just type in and the name of the package. So what I want to do is in. I want to install Zoom. Oh, actually, I probably can't do that. Telegram. Let's try that. Target not found. So what do we have in the system that, or what don't we have, so I can look at, so Ristretto, we got no graphics. So in GIMP. So let's install GIMP. And then we can go yes for that. And that way I don't have to type the sudo pacman dash capital S all the time. So that is very handy. I've done that before once in Solus, but I haven't done that since for quite a while. Aliases are pretty handy when it comes to the ease of install through the terminal. So let's clear that off. Let's try yay, because I'm pretty sure they had yay out of the box, and we don't run yay as sudo apparently. So yay zoom. Is that right? Is that all we need to do? Or do we need to... I think it's dash capital S, isn't it? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Oh, no, there we go. Yay Zoom. So we're looking for Zoom. And yes, I have to say the text is so much better than what it was on my first video. It was not very good at all. Video conferencing. So I'm going to go for example, packages to install. Yep, I'm going to install number 2 Zoom, and let's do that. We are going for number 1 Zoom. Proceed with install, yes. So if there's any advantages of running an Arch-based system, this would have to be one of them, although the AUR, they say, can have, what can you say, not so stable things in it possibly. You take a risk when you install things from the AUR. If you're installing Zoom, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I'd have to think it does some sort of magic commands to grab hold of the Zoom from the Zoom website and somehow script it up to install it. I would have to think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure how that works. You'd have to think it's something like that. So that is Zoom installed. That was pretty painless. So let's go yay Telegram to do my usual things that I normally do. Telegram. What are we looking at? Telegram.desktop 1.8.1. Community Telegram desktop 1.8. Let me check my Telegram that I'm running on my main system, 1.7.14. So there's a 1.8, so Telegram-desktop will go for number 2 again and proceed with that. So that was a fairly simple install for Telegram. So let's just check that these things are in there. And we don't have We need to go to settings, settings manager, and we need to go to keyboard, application shortcuts. Now from memory I think, and that's getting dangerous using my memory, XFCE 4 pop-up whisker menu I think it's called, so we could probably add that in there and give it the super key. So let's add that. I'm pretty sure it's XFCE 4 pop-up, is it? Pop-up dash whisker menu. I'm pretty sure that's right. I've done that a few times, that's probably why I remember that. And the keyboard setting is super duper. Let's check that out. Let's close that. And there we have super key and the whisker menu. Nice. Telegram, let's just check that's installed. Yep. And we should have Zoom as well. Yes, we do. Okay, Zoom. Let's try again. Zoom, see if it opens first. Yep, that all looks good. Let's try install my favorite cherry tree. I don't know if that's in the repos or not. Not found, so it'll be yay. Cherry tree. Number 1. So this is definitely an advantage of Arch, is I do not have to go anywhere looking for anything. Most of the time it's either in the Pacman repos or it's in the Arch user repositories, and that just simplifies a lot of things. Now I think that might have gone to the bottom. There's something always, if I increase this window, yeah, see at the bottom there? So if that ever happens to you, now it's showing, but before it was up to there or something like that. So you got a full screen to see that down the bottom there. I've had that happen to me a few times in Arch. I don't know if it's an Arch thing. I don't know if it was just Arch, to be honest. So that was pretty painless as well. And Cherry Tree is installed. Now I've just recently tried my hand at another video editor, because I don't really want to put all my eggs in the same basket, so to speak. And I think it's good that if something happens to not function as good as you're expecting on one, at least it's good to know that you've got another one that you know how to use. So I'm learning how to use Blender, so I'll try and see if that's in the repos, Blender, and it is. So I'm currently using 2.8, which looks like that is the one. So we shall proceed with install. Blender should be installed, and there we go. Version 2.8, there we go there. So that's good. There's no Office Suite there, so that's okay. Can put that in later. Well, it's got just the calendar. Arrage. So if a distro comes with no Office Suite, I normally don't install one unless I come across a situation where I'll probably need one. Otherwise, I don't worry too much about that. Don't use Office Suites too much these days. I do have the DVD in here, so let's see whether Asunder is in here. I don't think it would be. No, so we'll try install Asunder. In Asunder. Nice, it's already there. Beautiful. Asunder. There we go. How easy was that? So what I will do here is I'm going to make myself another alias. Bash RC. Let's see. Let's do an alias S for search equals quote Pacman dash capital S. I think it's S for search, I believe. So all I have to do is type S. Save that. S, and look for, what did I want to look for? Tag tool. I'm looking for a tag tool. Bash S command not found. Did I not do that correctly? Maybe I need to close that because it's already open. I'll try it again. S tag. Oh, there we go. Let me try tag tool. Let's clear that off. S easy tag. Easy tags in there. Okay. Now there was one called I seen in something else which was called XFCE or something. S audio tag. Alright, so it looks like easy tag is the other one. Install easy tag. I've used that a few times. Yes. Etcher. See if that's in here. Etcher. Balena Etcher 1.53. Yep, that is the latest one, number 1. And Balena Etcher number 1. So it looks like I was pressing installing number 1 rather than all of them. So it looks like I had to install all of them. Right, so finally Etcher has installed, and that took quite a long time, and there is a lot of things happening in the terminal installing Etcher through Yay, through the Arch user repository. That was a lot of stuff happening there, and that went for ages, and I still haven't got Etcher installed. What's going on there? So finish making Etcher. Password. Gee, I thought that was done, but it's not. Oh, there we go. Gee. All right, I was finished making it. Gee, I was almost going to close that. Oh, geez, that would have been bad if I had to close that. Got to read a bit more, don't we? Okay, now it should be installed. Etcher, there we go. So much happening there in the terminal to install Etcher. I could have downloaded the app image probably 10 times by then. All right, so that's Etcher installed. Let's just have a look at desktop backgrounds. Desktop settings. I think I clicked the wrong one. So we have, that one there, that one there. They're a little bit too big for the screen unless it's meant to be like that. So not a lot of backgrounds going on there. So let's go to the web browser. What do we got here? Firefox, DeviantArt, Karl Schneider's DeviantArt. New in Firefox, content blocking. When you see the shield, Firefox is blocking parts of the page that can slow your browsing or track you online. Thank you, Firefox. So if we go to, we're in gallery, so we do a search for Arch. And Karl Schneider normally has quite a few good things for Arch wallpapers here. I quite like that one there. Nice and simple. Let's download that one. So let's put that in. That was Control H to hide hidden files. That should be in download. So let's cut that into pictures. Let's create a new folder. Cole's Pics we'll call it. Let's do that. Stick that in there. Go to desktop settings. Let's add other and go to my pictures and do that. Open that and select that. All right, so we have that there. What about the properties of the panel? Preferences, appearance, color. That's a solid color. Let's use system style. Close that. So that now blends in a little bit more with the background there. So we have that all going on. So I've installed a few programs, changed my desktop, wallpaper, installed a few programs anyway. And you've got Etcher there, Cherry Tree, you've seen me install them all. So that all looks pretty good. Now the one thing I'm very unsure of is these things in the news. I'm hoping that someone in the comments could probably enlighten me a little bit about whether we need to do anything with these physically in the terminal, or is that just for information purposes. I know I asked Brian, on BigDaddyLinux Live, and I can't remember what his answer was. I think it was just news. Now, whether this is telling you that that's what you have to do with those, what would you call, dependencies or little apps or whatever they are there, not sure whether we need to follow all this through or whether that's just news. But I have done an update. It has worked okay and everything's running fine. So there's no complaints at this point in time. So we do have Firefox working quite well there. I didn't actually look at the help and about Firefox is 68. So yes, we're going to be pretty much bleeding edge on this one, aren't we? Because we're on an Arch system. So I'm really looking forward to installing a different desktop to see how that goes. So multimedia, I've got my Asunder, Audio, Audacity, EasyTag. Now the Parole Media Player, I don't know if I've got any videos in here. Let's have a quick look. This is the one I was doing last time. So if we do that. G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC. So you can't, clicking on the screen, we are in the desktop of, you can only pause from there. I thought you could actually play from there as well, but only when the video's finished, I think. Okay, so now that's stopped, and now you can click that and it'll play. But that's the only time it does that, is when it's at the end of the video and you want to replay it. So I thought you could actually just play and pause from there, but that's not the case. So what I'm going to do here is send these to the side pane as a shortcut. That's better because I do like those there. And I do also have probably another, yep, there's my, that would be my my data drive in here. So that's an interesting one as well. I do want to try and set that up. So what I'm going to do is do a sudo blkid B84, ending in B84, this one here, 7D, 8D, C65, yep, same number as that. So it's SDA3, which makes sense. Just wanted to make sure that that made sense. So what we're going to do is sudo nano etc fs tab. I'm going to arrow down to the next line. Well, actually, we need to, no, I've got to get out of there for now. I need to, oh, it's in run media. So I like to have it in media data. So we need to sudo thuna, or can we run as root in here? I don't think we can. No. Sudo thuna file system media create folder, call it data. That's created. And then we'll clear that out and redo that, open that back up, arrow down. So we need to UUID equals, and I need to open up another terminal blkid and do that again. So this UUID here, copy that and paste it there, and press the tab key. That will be in /media/data, which is where I've mounted it, which is where I'm going to mount it. Tab key ext4, that's the file system. Tab key again, defaults, tab key 0, tab key 0, because I don't think that needs to be checked. And that's Control O and enter to save, Control X. Now I'm going to restart the system and see whether that automatically mounts. So we have a mounted drive there, so that all looks pretty good. So now what I want to do in here is Oh, I need to chroot that, don't I? So I think it's sudo gmod 755, I think it is, media/data. So I actually think it's sudo chown. Don't know if I need recursive because there's no folders in there, so I don't know. I'll do that anyway. Colon, semicolon, colon, media/data. I think that's how you change ownership. And look at that. Now we've got a lost and found. I don't know if I've done anything wrong there, or is that normal, but I can create folders. So that's how you do that. Thought I'd add this video, which is probably 3 or 4 days later after making the original video, maybe even longer. But in the meantime, I've had a major update on EndeavourOS, and that update also included updating XFCE to 4.14. So I just thought I would quickly run through some of the changes, trying to figure out what some of these changes are, and they're only very subtle changes, but they probably change the desktop completely. So let's have a look at this. The session manager now lets users add and edit auto start entries. So auto start, I think, is in settings, and you'll probably find that in here. So session and startup, application auto start. What did they say? Edit and auto start entries. So current session and advanced. All right. So display, choose it on login. Lock screen before sleep. Automatically save session on logout. So that must be new, I think, that bit there. And you can probably adjust these things as well. You can edit them and so forth. The logout dialog has a new switch user there, hybrid sleep hibernate. I don't know if they're different, but definitely that switch user is different. That never used to be there. In the Thunar file manager, they have, what did it say? Support for both a restyled path bar. So the restyled path bar is this one, and also go to view, location selector, and path bar style. So it gives you the options of clicking on these ones here. So I like that. So that gives you, I like to be able to select and go back within that path bar is a great idea. So that's a nice little welcome change. It's got support for larger folder thumbnails and improved keyboard navigation. The only way I think we can find that is probably all of these here, Control T, new window, Control N. Now I don't know what was there before, but some of them would have to be new. And some of them probably were already there. So I don't know which ones are new, but definitely I think these ones would be. View as detailed list, view as compact list, I think. Zoom in, zoom out. I'm not sure if they were there before. I don't use XFC a lot, but people who do will probably know that some of these are probably fairly new. Also includes for the first time a native screensaver in the shape of XFCE 4 screensaver. I'm not really sure I've got no idea what that means, to be honest. We could probably go to settings and have a look, see if there's a screensaver there. Yes, I'm not really sure what the native screensaver in the shape of XFCE 4 screensaver is meaning. Other notable changes, you got the new color profile manager, ability to save multi-display configs, hidden support R&R display scaling, battery plug-in can show remaining time and or percentage, which it does. So if we go to properties, time then date, date then time, you got those things there. If we go to panel preferences and we go to items, we go to this one here and click edit, display, you can display time, percentage. Alright, I don't see the time there. Display time remaining in tooltip. We have a do not disturb mode. A new missed notifications panel plugin. So panel preferences. Let's go panel add new items, and must be notifications. Notification plugin there. Let's add that. Do not disturb. Okay, that's where the do not disturb comes in the notifications there. Hidden support for RNA display scaling. So display resolution advanced. So automatically enable profiles when new display is connected. Configure new displays when connected. So you can do that. Profile name. So we had the hidden support RNA display scaling. You've got color profiles here. So new color profile manager. I've never used that, so I don't really know how that works. So it must be like it says hidden support RNA display scaling. Not quite sure on that one. Maybe that just works automatically. Option to set wallpaper from Ristretto image viewer. So I don't know if we've got Ristretto in here. Oh yes, we do. So yeah, I don't have any. Let's have a look. Oh yes. Pictures. Let's open that. So option to set desktop wallpaper. So how do we do that? Set as wallpaper. There you go. So under the view, set as wallpaper. I don't know if you can right click and do that. Doesn't look like it. Improved screenshot utility. So let's have a look at that. Screenshot. Entire window, select a region. So let's do a screenshot, and then host on Imgur. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I don't use it. So there you go. The option is there. So cancel that. So I can't really find much on that. And we also have a new calendar style, which looks a bit more modern. So I like that. So we just have one more look at this calendar. So we've got the calendar there, but the time, the properties, you can change the time format, date then time, time then date, date only, time only, and the format of the time and the font and the size and so forth, and the type of time you want, 24-hour or normal time. You can customize it yourself. Then we got properties. Oh, that is the properties, but there's also more. So if we go to panel preferences and items, and then go down to the clock there. Sometimes it's hard to tell which one you're selecting unless it's got that icon. Looks like the icons are displaying correctly for the different items. Sometimes they never used to. So display, you can hide percentage, you can display time. I don't see the time coming up. Display a bar, you can display an icon, display label, battery or no battery, display icon, turn that off. The bar you can turn off. Display time, display power, so you can got power. So I don't see any time. Display a bar, but there's no time. Thought it was time remaining. Can now show time, show remaining time and or percentage. Display percentage, I still don't see display time. So there's 100%. Maybe if I unplug the power, maybe that will work. There we go. So unplug the power and then it displays time remaining. Okay, that makes sense. 20 minutes. That's how bad my battery is. It's fully loaded and it'll last 20 minutes. Oh, that's bad. All right, so that's that one. So that is some of the things new in XFCE 4.14. Very nice changes, I must say, to XFCE. Don't know if it'll entice me enough to use it full time, but they're nice, subtle little changes, and the icons are looking pretty nice as well. And the other change, there's one more change we need to look at. Sorry, I almost forgot. I want to download, I want to go to So there's a Quagga theme, which I use normally in the GNOME desktop, and it's called Quagga theme. And it is a GTK theme. It is a GTK3 theme. So normally I go to XFCE look and download for XFCE. But now that they've switched over to GTK3, I'm going to download this. And we shall download Quagga Win and download. So we shall cut that and go to home, .themes. I've just made a .themes folder. Paste that and extract here. Now let's see how a GTK3 theme looks on XFCE. So we'll go to Appearance, Quagga Win. So let's have a look here. So this is the current theme, I think, that came with, I'm pretty sure I haven't messed with the themes, so I'm pretty sure that's the theme that came with EndeavourOS. So I want to try Quagga Win. Looks pretty good. That looks nice. What was the difference there? Oh, what theme was it on? I think it was Arc, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was Arc Darker. Yep. And Quagga Win. So that looks pretty good. Don't know about other things, but that looks pretty good as well. So we'll go to Window Manager, and we shall change that. Is this buttons along the top window title? So we'll do that now. Quagga Win. And there we go. That looks pretty good. That looks very nice. Very fitting for XFCE, and that just looks really good. I'm really happy with that. All looks very well displayed. Let's go to settings and see what that looks like. That looks nice. Appearance and icons. I haven't changed the icons yet, but no need to at the moment. Icons look pretty good. So that was update information and just a follow-up video on EndeavourOS plus some updates to XFCE 4.14. Currently, if we have a look at this here, we've got some more news. There's some more updates coming through here. Let's have a look at the news. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have done that, should I? So, show news. So we have some more news, and I still got to ask some people about this. I don't know if any of this needs to be actioned upon, or they're just telling you. I'm still a bit confused about what this news does, whether it's, I think it's information on things that you may know are a problem. I'm not sure. It's a lot of info there to take in. So, but that just goes to show that if you are running an Arch-based system like this, this is the kind of info that's become very transparent with EndeavourOS, that shows you the sort of issues that can pop up and that need to be dealt with, and not just blindly update, I would say. But I did update the first one and it has been working okay, so I don't think there's been any issues, but I probably should check to see if I've got any of these packages or libraries or anything in here that may need manual intervention, but I'm not really sure. That's probably why I don't run an Arch base, because of those reasons. I probably just want to use my system. I don't want to go fussing about with all that sort of stuff there. So there are some updates there. So if we go to update system, oh, I thought that was going to ask me for it. No, that just updated directly, didn't it? Okay, so I'm running updates. Oh no, there we go. So it's just checking for what's updating. So there's a few things updating now. Old and current. That's the new. Battery plug-in. Whisker menus also got an update as well. Xorg XR&R. It's got an update as well. So that all looks pretty good. So that was some follow-up info and also a look at some updates on XFCE 4.14 on EndeavourOS. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative. And thanks for watching.